Okay, for today's lesson, we're focusing on actions, plugins, and filters. Now, Photoshop is no longer compatible with a lot of filters and things. It does not like you to add things on your own. There are some things that are compatible. I personally love Topaz. I picked that up last year and I've been really excited to work with it, and it does some great things automatically that you don't have to walk through step by step. Photoshop has Camera Raw, and I believe that's installed in most of the newer versions. If you don't have it, when you upgrade, if you have the option to take that, grab it. For what we're doing right now, I am going to play with our filters that are automatically part of Photoshop. Now, for right now, I'm going to leave this duplicate layer that I have linked, and I'm going to keep this black base background. And again, we'll play a little bit so you can see the changes there. And again, because I have that underlying layer, you don't see everything, but you can kind of get an idea, just play through here. And I am going really fast, but when you're doing this on your own, pace it at your leisure. If I make this invisible, let me do this again. Some of this is going to go directly to black. And come back up. Now, if your background layer is white, I'm just going to toggle, click, Shift F5, and let's hope this, nope, not on the first try. Click, click. For some reason, Photoshop does not always want to do what I would like it to do. There we go. Shift F5 to fill, okay, white layer. And one more time, we're going to walk through this. And again, some of these go very, very white. You can just see it's obviously the opposite of what happened with the black background. And if I bring this in, do the same thing. Again, just a little bit of an impact. But again, you can play. Now, the additional thing, change your fill level. That adjusts your results as well. And opacity, same thing. I use this a lot, not just on the base image, but as I add layers, as I have a hard time working with pre-made backgrounds. It just doesn't generally suit me. But again, you get the idea here. And you can always add a mask if you want to filter out something that you've done here. You know, again, I'll say with this one, if for some reason you thought divide was the way to go, here we go, B for brush, toggle that. And again, with this on that layer, I can come in with the black and make that go away. Now my opacity up here I actually had from the last time I used it at 50%. So again, there we go. And I'm not doing a really great job with this, but you get that idea. And from the last lesson, or 2 lessons ago, you could come in and work on how to remove this. If you use this image in one of your exercises, I will give you fake bonus brownie points if you remove this using like the stamp tool, this clone. And if you don't do it, I'll still love you. It's okay. The next thing I want to play with is a New York sunset. What we're going to do is work with Camera Raw. I'm going to come down and grab it here. This is a plugin. It is listed under filters, but Photoshop does list it as a plugin. And again, as you open up the drop downs, depending on what you want to do or what you figure out to do as you go, play with it, have fun. There's not a right or wrong way. Just remember, if you look at something and think, ugh, other people will too. Typically speaking, a little change goes a long way. And I'm going to pull that one back up. We'll come down to color grading. And again, this gives you lots of options, mid-tone, shadows, highlights. Again, you can read, you can see it for yourself. But don't be shy. Go ahead and if you want to save it, click OK. I'm going to cancel because what we came up with was kind of hideous. The next thing I want to work with, and again, I'm just going to breeze through this as well, is actions. And that's okay. I'm not worried about the clone stamp. I'll take you back to the move tool. There we go. I have included a link in this for it's the F64 Academy's Diamond Gradient. This is the listing for an action. And again, you come to your window, select the drop down for action, just make sure it's checked. It will pop up this. I have extended this down some so you can see more of the steps. What will happen? It opens up, go to your step 1, visible, click on play. It tells you what to do. Click continue, come down to your next, and I think this jumped on me a little bit. Yep, there we go. New fill layer. Oh, sorry, click on OK. And from that, I'm going to come back just a second here. You can choose a different gradient. Now he has, for this particular tutorial, he's included gradients that either he's created or he thinks that work best with this. And I apologize because I haven't memorized his TUT, but you'll be able to listen to that as well. Click OK, go down to the next one, click play. Again, I think I may have done the same thing twice. Delete that. Yep, and just again come down to the next thing and the next. It will have you walk through this step by step by step. This is what it's telling you to adjust on the gradient itself. So again, you have the angle, the scale, if you're going to reverse, dither, which softens the transition if it's a little bit rough. You can also make changes to the style of the gradient. Some of it is very dramatic and you can see it. Some of it, the changes are a little bit softer. I never liked the diamond shape for this until I saw this particular tutorial. But again, the concept with actions is it walks you through step by step. You make those changes, you come down to the next, you hit play again, and it brings you to the next thing and it tells you what to do. And the changes to make are listed underneath, and it will walk you all the way down. Again, this is extensive and I don't want to take 2 hours to walk through something entirely. But when you feel adventurous, grab a tutorial, walk through one of these. You don't have to have a tutorial or an action to use gradients. You can certainly create your own things at any time with the gradients that are already downloaded. And if you're not sure where to find those, I have a couple options from layer, layer style, gradient overlay. And again, the opacity on this one is pretty heavy because this layer is still at 100%. I'm going to change that for just a second. And again, we can take the fill down to 35 and the opacity to 35. And now you can see the difference that has made. And again, with this one, we'll bring this back up. This is reflected. This is what it would look like with diamond. Sorry, didn't mean to click that again. Angle. You can adjust that angle. Sometimes it makes a huge difference, sometimes it doesn't. Bring that back up to around 90 degrees. There you go. And the scale can impact things as well. You can reverse. Okay. And that's your biggest thing there. So again, with using a gradient, generally you're also going to want to use your filter. Camera raw, you can use filters with it after the fact. Again, just depending on what you want to achieve and if there's more that you want to do. If you add another layer to this, meaning like an additional image on top, you can continue to make changes as you go. It can make for a beautiful end result or not. And again, just be thoughtful as you go through it. If you look at something and think, yeah, that's not quite right, you're probably right. It's a good time to just take a minute, reflect on it, walk away if you need to, and come back and decide, do you want to keep it, do you want to change it, which is part of why designing takes forever because we're all very particular about what we do and the end result we get. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. Thank you so much for your time. Have a great day.